weather fatigue, news fatigue. We were talking about it all week.
Weather fatigue is a real thing, man, and especially with the weather events we've gone through. Like there was the flooding,
Right.
not just from Chantal, but after that, people were like, okay, when do we get a break? And then we got a break, and it was the heat. We've done stories on studies showing people are a little more ornery when it's hot out.
Yeah.
We can attest to that, man. And I think the fatigue it affects everybody a little differently, whether it's from a viewer perspective or from my perspective. It's like, we kind of need a reset where we're not talking about the next big thing.
Yeah. Living in the present.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
But you're also a meteorologist. You have to predict what's coming ahead.
Right. So it's not a double-edged sword. It's just trying to toe that line between,
Right.
like what you said, focusing on the present and looking toward the next thing. And I'm sure it's the same for you in the news cycle, because it's like you were saying before. The news cycle it's never going to end.
It always happens, and it's constantly going. And I feel like the thing that has also, like, for lack of a better word, exacerbated it is, I think, like, cell phones and the fact that, like, we have so many updates that can come right to us. Not even like, oh, it's coming to, like, your home. No, it's like on my phone, on my person, and I'm getting these news updates, etc. Even this morning, we walked in, and the big story was obviously the tsunami that was a big concern, the earthquake that hit Russia, and we also had the Manhattan shooting the other day. So, like, when one thing ends, another begins, and it's like, when do we get a break? And there are those lulls, but I guess when there are those opportunities where things are slow, it's good to just disconnect and unplug.
It's not one of those things that we're sitting here complaining about our jobs. It's more of like, I think, empathizing with folks who are just like, all right, man, hold up. You have to at least take a step back and look back at how you do things and understand some of the commentary that comes through. Now, in the past week, I've had direct messages with people cursing me out. That I'm not going to entertain.
Yeah.
And I think those who follow me, they know that's just like, all right, that's a block.
Yeah, that's immediate block. You're done.
Right. But if you have feedback, that's always welcome too. You don't get better at what you do unless you get some of that feedback. I went to a concert on Sunday in the blistering heat and everything, and even though it was so hot out, it was that nice reset, because no matter what you do for work, fatigue is going to set in and stress is going to set in. And I mean, that's just part of work. If you're never feeling tired, I don't know that you're really working, you're just going to go through those busy stretches. And I think in the Weather Center, we're just really going through one of those stretches.
And it's okay to go through those stretches, and it's also okay to give yourself a break. I feel like some people think that, I need to keep every single update. You are allowed to step away for a moment. You are allowed to unplug. I would just caution against completely doing that, because then you may miss out on necessary information. I know some people, I'm just going to turn off all my notifications, all my emergency alerts. It's like, well, hold on. Like, we don't want you to miss something that could potentially be life-saving information for you.
And it's towing that fine line, right? Of like
balance.
Giving yourself that grace, but also, and I've said it even to my girlfriend before, I'm like, we all sit here and scroll social media. And then I've heard people say, well, I don't have the time to watch you on TV. You do. I mean, just like I've sat here before and I've said, like, I don't have time to do the dishes.
Right.
I've got time to do it. It's just, I was watching a TV show or playing my drums or whatever.
Willpower.
Yeah. And staying informed is a responsibility. It is a two-way street. I mean, we're on every single platform I can think of. But there are still times when something may fall through the cracks because of a social media algorithm or whatever the case may be. So I think the point of this is just saying, like, we empathize with you. Sometimes the news and the weather cycle, it gets heavy. We feel it too. And I'm always open to feedback.
I'm open to feedback too. I think that's why we also let people into our personal lives. Like, yes, we give them some serious updates on social media, but we also show pictures. You show your drumming. I show pictures of my son and stuff. And so that's why we want other people to kind of engage in this conversation too, because people reach out to us and they ask us these questions, and we thought this is an opportunity to kind of bring the conversation to you and have you be a part of that conversation.
And this is Crisscross episode 2. This is just the beginning of that conversation. If you have topics that you want us to talk about or maybe share our experience with, if you care to listen to it, we appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's good that we all come from a place of understanding. Again, that concert I went to, these are heavy metal guys screaming their faces off. And one of the messages I came away with was one of the singers for the band Killswitch Engage. He said, we have so much more in common than what divides us. And I was like, he's right. You know, so I think that's just part of what this video series is going to be about.
And hopefully, if you have any ideas, feel free to DM us. We'd love to have more conversations.
And stay cool out there. The heat wave's almost over.